Good morning students. Today we are starting a lesson number 13, motion and time. In this chapter we will learn about the what is motion, slow and fast motion, speed, importance of measurement of time, how to measure speed, different type of distance, time graph, etc. etc. So dear students, what do you understand by the word motion? If I am saying motion, so what do you understand by this word? Yes, the objects which change their position with respect to the object at rest are called in the state of motion. Motion means movement. Means if anything is moving one place to another place, means changing its position with respect of time. Okay, it is called the motion. If you are asked to tell whether the trees or buildings are at rest or motion, what is your reply? See, a body relative to one object may be at rest, whether relative to other object it may be in motion. If you consider the motion of the earth, means rotating, earth is rotating and revolution, both it is doing. Earth moves around its axis and around the sun also. So you will easily understand that the trees on earth with reference to another object on earth is at rest, but with respect to other planet or star it is in the motion along with the earth. So we can say the state of rest and motion are relative terms. Understood? Now there are two type of motion, we can say slow motion and fast motion. Objects may travel faster or slow. If an object covers a large distance in a fixed interval of time than some other object, it is called faster, and the other object is called slower. If you will see two cars, they are moving on the road, and one is covering more distance in a fixed interval of time and another one is covering less distance, so you will say that first one is a faster than other. Now next is speed. In speed two things come. One is distance traveled by the object, second time taken by the object, means how much speed, we can say how much speed this vehicle have. It means how much distance traveled by that vehicle and how much time taken. So we can say that the speed of an object refer to the distance that object moves in unit time. Okay, so for example I am giving you, if four friends are there, Rita, Sudha, Rohit and Sarika, they participated in 100-meter race and they took, like Rita took 20 seconds to cover 100-meter distance, Sudha took 22 seconds, Rohit took 25 seconds and Sarika took 28 seconds respectively to reach the finishing line. Who do you think run the fastest and who run the slowest? So you can easily find out that who is the fastest. So those person who cover more distance in less interval of time, she or he is faster than others. Okay, understood? So we can say that who is slow means who covers less distance but taken more time, it means it is slower than the others. Now the measurement of time. See, how can we measure the time? How is one aware of the time? the interval between two events is known as time. Okay, means if I will say that how can you measure the time, you can say that by the watch or clock we can see the time. But do you know, in olden days people didn't never use a watch or clock. They find out time by watching the natural events, like they used to see the sunrise, sunset. Okay, and night time they used to see moon, the direction of the moon, the place of the moon. So by that way they used to see the time. And the same way they used to measure the time by the duration between the new moon and next new moon, means how many days gone in between of that. So they used to calculate. Now, how can you measure a short duration of time? First, we have to understand how the instruments like clock. Here you can see pendulum. So it is mm, by this way we can easily measure so the time. Here you see that simple pendulum it is. Actually it one bob made by the iron. You can say one iron ball. It is just like an iron ball. This is, and it is hang by the stretched thread. Okay, and attached by the bob. And it is doing to and fro motion, means you can say if the middle, here you can see A position is a rest position. Okay, and if we will stretch that bob to B, and then we will leave it, then it will be reached till C position. So we can say that in the figure you can see that the pendulum at the rest in its main position, and when the bob of the pendulum is released after taking it slightly to one side, it begins to swings to other side. So this is called the to and fro motion also. The to and fro motion of the swing of the pendulum is known as oscillatory motion or periodic motion. So by this motion only we can come to know about the time, because it is fixed that how much time it will be take in between of 1 second. So by this way the pendulum also completes one oscillation when its bob moves from one extreme position to the other extreme position and back to the same position. So the time taken by a pendulum for one oscillation is known as its time period. Again I am saying to you, the time taken by a pendulum for one oscillation is known as its time period. Many time measuring devices were used in different parts of the world before the pendulum clocks become popular. Earlier people used to measure the time by different tools like sundial, here you can see, and sand clock, you better know about that. And afterward that clock manufactured, or we can say in recent times scientists discover the clock. So by this way we can easily understood what is the time, what time is going on. We can easily tell about the time. The timekeeping service in India are provided by the National Physical Laboratory, New Delhi. Okay, and it has a clock that can measure a time period with an accuracy of 1 millionth of a second. Now measuring speed. First of all, what is speed? Speed is the distance covered by an object in a unit time. I already told you that in starting that movement. So it depends on our how much distance we have covered in a particular unit of time, it is called the speed also. So speed is equal to, we can see this formula, speed is equal to distance upon time, and the unit of speed is the meter per second. We are if after measuring, if we are writing the unit of the speed, we will write meter per second. It is a SI unit of speed. Okay, and we use units such as kilometer per hour if we are measuring the long distance. Okay, then average, what is the average speed? Here average speed is equal to total distance traveled upon total time taken. Means what, total distance, how much distance we have covered, and if we will divide by the total time taken, we will easily get our average speed. Okay, so by this way we can easily come to know that what speed, what distance we have covered. You must have seen it is fitted on the top of the motorcycle scooter.